Hey everybody, we just got back from a current movie review.
It's a few days late.
Don't worry about it. We were busy with other things.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody really cares about Ugly Dolls.
I don't know, we had a couple people comment on Animation Pilgrimage being like, where's the Ugly Dolls review? It's coming out today.
Right now. When
You're
hearing
watching
this,
it!
Right now. This is when it's out. Boom! That blew your mind.
Live in the moment. Anyway, we just saw Ugly Dolls.
And it was bad.
I mean, what'd you guys expect? I try to go into movies, you know, like, even if I've hated the trailers so far, I try to go in with a, like, alright, what you got for me movie? Because there's always a ton of trailers that do the movie
many movies a disservice.
Yeah.
As in most all of them.
Yeah.
This lived up to the trailer's expectations of, no, this is pretty bad.
Yeah. The writing, the songs, the animation.
Yeah, like, none of it was good. Like, I couldn't even say, like, this was good animation. It was, like, it was fine animation, but, like, there was nothing that was like, yes, that looked really good. There
was a lot of shots that focused on headshots.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because I noticed several times that it wasn't a bad sliding problem or anything like that, but, like, I would watch the characters' feet.
Oh, and they were sliding across the ground?
Yeah, like, it didn't happen often, but there were just, like, a couple of shots where I'm like, oh, that foot slid a little here. Like, they're not really staying very solid, which is too bad because they actually have character designs that, like, work well for, like, showing...
Squash and stretch and
stuff?
Yeah,
showing solidity. It's just...
They didn't?
Yeah. There's just some scenes that should have been polished and stuff before they went
I noticed they never used the stairs up to the main character's house because no one can fit in those stairs. They're too small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of little things like that, too.
Oh, like when they were in the Bat's house, and, like, they didn't walk through that door because that door is very clearly a solid object melded with the wall.
Yeah.
So it doesn't open until we get an outside shot, which is a completely different set.
Yeah, I forgot what scene it was in particular, but it was something where it was super, super obvious, where it was like, oh, you didn't want to animate, like, this object doing this thing, so you just cut away?
This object shattering.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, there was that one. There was another time, too, where it was something to do with food, I think. Maybe. I don't remember, but it was just something where it was like, oh, we need to, you know, break this or cut it apart or something.
And they're just like, no.
And then so they cut away to it being already done and you don't see it.
Oh, the fortune cookie, probably.
Maybe.
I don't know.
There was a lot of instances of that kind of stuff where it's like they obviously just did not want to make another model to do this thing.
They didn't want to edit this.
When the scene feels kind of awkward without seeing the conclusion of that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's super nitpicky stuff. General things, it's just like...
What is the moral of this movie, Tennille?
What do you think?
Spell it out for me.
Could it be that you are perfect just the way you are?
Oh, neat. How do they reinforce this idea?
By singing song after song after song and telling you all of your flaws. Okay.
They're saying that you're ugly all the time. And I would argue that none of these characters have ugly designs.
Mm-hmm.
At all.
Yeah.
Full stop. Like, none of these characters are ugly.
No.
They're specifically made to look weird,
it's
but
very
not
much
ugly.
Hollywood ugly.
Oh, yeah. And, like, this whole movie is horrendously shallow in that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This entire movie feels like an inspirational pop song.
That never stops.
That never stops. And, you know, I know plenty of people love inspirational pop songs.
But when you hear literally the 10th one in a row...
I mean, I don't like the first one. Let me just talk about this for a little bit.
Okay.
Because people always think I'm being super cynical when I say I don't like inspirational pop music. I don't like it because it feels emotionally manipulative. I could be having a great day and an emotional pop song comes on, and these songs come on, and I say song, but I'm also saying this about the movie. The movie is exactly like an emotional pop song, where they're like, wow, don't you just feel like life's so rough? And then they name, it's like having your fortune read, where like, they name vague, but specific things that could relate to anyone to make you feel bad.
Man, isn't your looks something that you worry about? And then you're suddenly like, oh man, I do worry about my looks. And it's like, wow, super passive aggressive you think. And you're like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's cool.
Because you're
cool.
perfect just the way you are.
Don't worry about that one flaw that you always think about all the time. It's not a big deal because you're great and fabulous. Even though you got that flaw, it doesn't matter because you got that flaw and that makes you unique. Mm-hmm. Don't you feel how awful that is?
Yeah, it's like you're bringing up something I actually wasn't thinking about, making me think about it, and then not really giving me any kind of closure other than, don't think about it. It's okay. No. You're perfect even with that.
It's like, you're not explaining to me why this isn't an issue. You're saying, don't think about it, and therefore it's not an issue. Mm-hmm. And that's what...
You're perfect, just like everyone else.
Yeah, it's, not great.
Yeah, that's why I don't like inspirational pop music. And that's why I don't care for this film, is because it is so cheerful and happy and doesn't actually want to
dive into
like any of the psychology going on here. It's all very surface level. No, main character, don't listen to the haters. They just want to hate. Okay.
I mean, she wasn't anyways, so...
Yeah, she wasn't listening to the haters anyway.
She's, like, the only character that will not listen to anyone.
Yeah, well, that's
I couldn't even tell you what her name is.
Moxie.
Moxie? Oh, of course.
Of course. So, yeah. I mean, essentially this entire movie, you have a character whose, like, sole characterization is never giving up. So she doesn't really need other characters to keep telling her to keep going, because she would do that anyway. Mm-hmm. So you have a movie where your main character is like, I'm gonna go do the thing. And then everyone around her is like, oh man, people are gonna tell you you can't. But you can do it, Moxie. And she's like, well, cool, I was gonna do it anyway.
No.
They're really gonna hate you for this.
Don't worry.
But don't you worry, Moxie. We believe in you. And she's like, I mean, yeah, I was gonna... No, Moxie, listen! They're really gonna hate you, because you're so ugly, and...
You got this weird thing on your head.
Oh, I hate looking at you. Like, you just make my eyes bleed. But believe in yourself, Moxie! And it's like... It's so cynical! Like, it's so positive that it is instead cynical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie sings like 7 songs in a row in Uglyville, and then we sing 7 songs in a row in Perfectville, and then we sing another song in Uglyville, and then we sing a song in the Mirror Dimension.
There's a lot of songs. This is an actual musical.
You could probably say that most of the lines
are sung
compared to spoken.
Yeah, so this isn't... I guess that's kind of like a thing, you know? If you're one of those people who don't mind animated musical, like your Disney musical, you know, this goes further than a Disney musical.
Like, it's twice as bad as a Disney musical. So if you don't like...
If you don't like music in movies...
Don't watch this.
Don't watch this, because it's mostly music.
And it's all peppy pop music that's supposed to make you feel good.
Or sad ballad.
Yes. There's no in between.
Yeah, there's one villain song, but it's even like a poppy... It's not even a fun poppy villain song.
No, it's just a generic poppy song of him running around telling everyone they're ugly.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, this is the best song in the whole movie, because this is one character being absolutely vindictive, and they very clearly love just pointing out random flaws on other characters for no reason other than to make himself feel better.
Yeah.
It's just a character bullying other people, and this is the best song.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
And that's
songs,
a stretch.
Yeah. It's I can't remember how it goes even.
No.
So
I can't either.
I can remember the like main song of the movie, but that's because it was in all those trailers. So
And that was the Mirror Dimension song, right?
Maybe?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. We watched this movie like a half hour ago, and I'm already forgetting so much of it.
It's like, it's gone.
One thing that drives me nuts, though, is, like, half of these songs end with, sing the last note, and then speak a word. And they do this so often. And it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, this just kind of adds to the emotionally manipulative side of this movie, because like that's such a musical trope where it's like you need to speak the last word so that you know what they're saying is super important and from the heart. And it doesn't really like it adds emotional depth without working for it.
You know, these movies always try to show a divide as to this, and this. That's why you're ugly, and that's why you're not going to fit in. You want to know how to actually make those people feel like they fit in? Never point it out. Just let characters of various designs, aesthetics, hindrances, whatever, just coexist and don't bring attention to the fact that these characters are different. And then it's not an issue. You know? Like, one of the characters is pointing out that she's hiding her flaw because she wears glasses. And, like, I think over 50% of the United States wears glasses.
Yeah. Or contacts.
Or contacts. So, you know, this isn't even a flaw. This is just a thing that people do.
Yeah.
So, this is dumb.
Yet again, saying something like that as a flaw feels like so shallow.
Yeah.
And that's part of the point of the movie, is these things that they're pointing out as flaws are shallow. But, like...
But they take it super seriously that this is a flaw.
Yeah, why am I supposed to, like, care that, oh no, this beautiful doll has to wear glasses, but she doesn't because it would make it so that she doesn't fit in. It's like... It's so low consequence. And yeah, that's another thing about, like, these inspirational things, is they specifically feel like they are targeting people's insecurities.
Absolutely.
What we talked about. Because it's one of those things where the filmmakers are trying to say, like, look how awesome these ugly dolls are. But at the same time, they obviously want to point out to the audience, like, oh, but look how weird and ugly they also are. And that's kind of contradictive. Like, if you're really trying to share this message, you should be more positive about it and not be constantly pointing out flaws. Like, even coming from the bad guy, it feels like way too much.
You're trying too hard for this, dude.
Yeah. I kind of want to go into spoilers, because I don't think this will be a long review.
No. I mean, we didn't see any new trailers. I think we're going to switch into... Yeah, we're going to switch to spoilers now. If you're shocked and surprised about spoilers, I guess get out. But, like, who's going to care?
Yeah, if you want to see this without being spoiled, you know, go ahead.
Go on. But we're going to talk about spoilers now, like, all, like, one thing or two.
Yeah, there's really only one thing to talk about. So, here we go. Spoilers. So, it turns out the villain, who is the
leader
Nick Jonas character...
Pretty boy.
The pretty boy. It turns out he is a prototype doll. So that's why he's never allowed to go have a human. The rules of this universe are very unclear. So you know something like this is coming, but you don't know exactly how they're going to explain it.
Yeah.
Because the rules are extremely vague. But yeah, it turns out he's a prototype doll.
So he can't leave.
So they give him a backstory of, like, the ugly dolls were actually supposed to, like, go through the same training the perfect dolls go through, and, like, he was still gonna go out. Like, the ugly dolls have a leader, and the leader started out in Perfectville, and he was friends with the villain guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the villain guy gets jealous that one day this ugly doll is going to go out and have a human, but he can't, even though he's perfect.
So he screws with them and gets him thrown out.
Yeah. And so the mayor of this ugly doll village goes out, creates Uglyville, and that's where all the ugly dolls go.
Mm-hmm.
And they try and pretend it's like this horrible secret the mayor has had kept hidden for forever.
Liar revealed.
Yeah.
Yada yada.
I mean, it doesn't go through all the liar revealed things. Like, the ugly dolls don't turn to the mayor and go, "You lied to us! How could you?" Or something like that.
No, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Everyone gets
Super depressed.
And their society breaks down.
And there's never... Like, Moxie goes through a realization of, like, oh, hey, even though I have flaws, I should keep fighting anyway. The rest of the town doesn't.
No, they're just like, well...
I guess we're better now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Like, we gotta go save our friends, so we can't sit here and wallow in our own self-pity anymore.
Yeah.
Because we're not the main character.
Essentially. But anyway, the part I want to talk about is this whole prototype thing. I really dislike... Oh, excuse me. I really dislike that they give this character a sad, sympathetic-ish backstory, and then immediately go to essentially murdering him.
Yeah. I mean, they don't murder him, but they're still like, beat the crap out of him, throw him in the washing machine.
Yeah.
Screw his life over.
Yeah. Make his life miserable. Throw him in prison. All that kind of stuff. Because when you're aiming a movie for, like, children under 5...
You have 2 options for the villain, and they went with neither.
Yeah. It's like, you either redeem the villain, or you just make them pure evil.
And completely unsympathetic.
Yeah.
It's like, so either one, he should have just been a pedantic asshole that just screws over other dolls because he wants to do that. Mm-hmm. And there is no reason he doesn't go to the other world. He just stays there because he loves the power of
being perfect and
being mean to everyone else.
Yeah.
Or you should have had him sympathetic, and instead of throwing him in the washing machine like, ha, he got his comeuppance type of thing, you should have had the main character be like, no.
You are a prototype, but that's okay. You don't have to follow the rules. And then they could like,
come with us. We can be friends, and we can go to the other world together. Or something like that. And he'd be like, really? And they're like, yeah! And then they sing a happy song about it, because of course this movie would do that. Mm-hmm. But no, instead he just gets screwed over and is stuck being a janitor or something for the rest of his life.
Right.
So
it just makes the main characters less good.
Seem more mean.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're supposed to be the better person in this situation.
Yeah. Because yet again, this is like a movie aimed for kids 5 and under.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, we had some of those kids in our theater.
Uh-huh.
And they loved the movie.
Well, they mostly enjoyed
parts of it.
At one point, like, probably... I would say we still had like a good 15 minutes left in the movie. Mm-hmm. I heard one of them say, "Is it over?" Which is funny.
Me too, kid. Me too. Big mood.
Mm-hmm. Oh. We did laugh at one joke.
There was one.
A single joke.
There was one.
It's
joke
after all
that got both of us laughing.
Is after all the ugly dolls finally found out that they're miserable and they're not supposed to be there and they're rejects and their society's falling down, there is this flying unicorn ugly doll thing. Mm-hmm. And he flies in and is like...
Before in the movie, he would be like, hey, it's a beautiful morning.
Wake up, everybody. It's time for a good day. Yeah. I'm totally not aerodynamic. And just, like, random things that aren't funny, but, like, are supposed to be.
Uh-huh.
And then he, like, because everyone's depressed, he, like, just...
comes in through the window.
Like, barely gets up on the windowsill and is like, hey, get up. Or don't. I don't care. Nothing matters. And just, like, falls out of the window.
He's like, I don't even know why I'm awake.
He's like, I don't even know why I'm awake at this point in time. And it's like, okay, that was funny.
Yeah.
It's like, everyone's just like, nah, this sucks.
That was the one good joke, TM. That was pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Join us back here next time as we watch something else. I have no idea what we're watching next.
I'm not sure either.
I mean, I know what the next movie we're going to go see. I don't know if we'll review it or not.
Oh, what is it?
Pikachu.
Oh, yeah. Detective Pikachu comes out soon.
Because by our standards, it's technically not an animated film.
Yes. So we only review animated films most of the time.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if we'll review it. We might not. Who knows?
Yeah. We're definitely going to go see it, though.
Yeah, it looks hella silly.
Yeah. Anyway, hope you all are having a fantastic day. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Doodles.